I was fully prepared to tell you that this is just another fun Minions movie, but instead I think this might be my favorite one. Welcome to Movie Monday, where every Monday I tell you a movie you need to watch and sometimes not. Today we're talking about Minions and Monsters. It came out at the beginning of July. It's an hour and 30 minutes, I think, and it's categorized as a comedy adventure. And yes, this is an animated movie, but there of course is a cast, so I'm going to put some of the people featured in the film or their voices featured in the film on the screen now. But if you're more of that behind the scenes information like ratings, writers, directors, producers, all of that should be on the screen as well. Now, you may or may not know that I already enjoy the Minions movies. The Minions as like a group of little minions. I like the Despicable Me things. I'm no stranger to Illumination. And I'm pretty sure that I've seen all of the Minions content that we've gotten so far. There's the first two movies like before this one, and then I think there's like two like add-ons on Netflix. So I definitely wasn't walking into this thinking and hoping that it would fail. If anything, I was expecting to at minimum have fun. What I wasn't expecting was for this to be my favorite one though. I currently have it at a 3.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd, but honestly I've been thinking about bumping it up to a 4. Like the more time passes, the more that I'm thinking about it, the more that it's stuck in my head. I'm, kind of wondering, should it be bumped up that half star? And out of the 40 movies that I've seen so far that are 2026 releases, this breaks the top 20, which is kind of crazy and a little bit impressive for a Minions movie. Without getting into spoilers, this story follows 3 different Minions on a quest that's full of creativity, adventure, filmmaking, monsters, and absolute chaos. And one of my favorite decisions that this movie makes is that we don't follow the same 3 Minions that we're used to. Instead, it introduces us to like a whole new group. And I actually really enjoyed spending time with them. James is probably my favorite. He's creative and optimistic and adorable, and he definitely kind of marches to the beat of his own drum. I love that. I don't know, there's just something really lovable about him, and he for sure was the character that I ended up connecting with the most. What surprised me the most is just how much more this Minions movie felt like compared to the other Minions movies. Not longer, not bigger, just more story, more imagination, more creativity, more adventure. It felt like there were constantly new ideas being thrown at you, but somehow it never really felt overwhelming. Instead of feeling like a series of Minions jokes kind of stitched together, this actually felt like a fully realized adventure. It almost plays like a little bit of a fantasy quest mixed with like some Indiana Jones energy, and I really liked that direction. And the monster designs were incredibly fun. The world itself felt very imaginative, and I honestly wouldn't mind seeing another movie in this universe specifically. And yes, it is still a Minions movie. If you think the Minions are annoying, this movie is not going to somehow convert you. They're still speaking Minionese. I know there's a thing for the language. They're still chaotic, they're still incredibly silly, but if you're already on board for what the Minions are, I genuinely think this is some of the best that they've ever been. The humor felt like such a mix of different comedies: visual comedy, slapstick, clever little moments, and classic Minion nonsense. There were plenty of laughs throughout the theater, and everyone around me seemed pretty engaged. And I do want to mention that I don't know that I saw a kid there. If there was a kid, there was probably only one. No shade, nothing wrong with that. I just wanted to communicate that. I also really appreciated that this movie kind of has a little bit of an emotional side. Don't get me wrong, this isn't suddenly some sort of like deep drama. It's still very much so a Minions movie, but there's definitely a whole bunch of little moments throughout the entire thing that really make you root for them as in the Minions, and the emotions come from the Minions themselves as well, and it like gives the movie just enough heart without like slowing down. The pacing is another thing that I have to give this movie credit for. At 89 minutes long, I really do feel like this movie was very aware at where it started and where it ended. Sometimes I feel that animated movies, especially for families and kids, can stretch themselves a little much, like add another 10 to 15 to 20 minutes that aren't really necessary or needed. And I don't know about you, but I definitely start to feel it. But I never really felt that here. From the beginning to the end, I was invested. And when the credits rolled, I was definitely sitting there smiling. And honestly, I wanted another one. As far as negatives go, there aren't really too many that stood out to me. I'm sure there was a joke or two that didn't land, but I don't really remember them at the moment. And I think the only reason that I haven't bumped it up to a 4 out of 5 is because I'm just still sitting with it. I know I really enjoyed it, but I don't really know just how much. Sometimes it takes a little longer for me to decipher. So would I recommend seeing this? Absolutely. Whether you catch it in theaters or on streaming, I definitely think it's worth a watch, especially if you're already into the other Minions content. And honestly, I think people underestimate a movie like this. People see animation and assume that it's made for kids. They see Minions and immediately assume that it's probably nothing special. But sometimes a movie doesn't need to reinvent cinema to be really good or successful. or fun. Sometimes the movie just needs to know exactly what it is and do that well. What it is, what it wants to be. I think you understand what I'm saying. Minions and Monsters is funny, imaginative, surprisingly adventurous, full of personality, and it exceeded every expectation I had walking into the theater. It's officially my favorite Minions movie, and if they continue to take the franchise in this direction, I'm totally on board. If you liked today's video, make sure to give it a like. It definitely helps this channel out. And I would love to know in the comments if you've seen Minions and Monsters. What did you think? Did you think it was fun? Did you think it was cute? What was your favorite Minion? There were so many new ones. I would love to hear everything and more if you want to share. Oh, and also if you want to recommend what movie you want me to watch and review for next Movie Monday, let me know in the comments as well. I'm always down for your movie suggestions. But I'm gonna go. Hope you guys all have a good day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!